Good afternoon. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk and taking up 15 minutes of your time today. What you're currently seeing on the screens here is our Red October gold mine. It's an underground gold mine, and we've got some great footage there. That's during drilling. Company itself, Matsa Resources, codes MAT. Sorry about that. We've got 4 directors. I'm the chairman and managing director. We've got Pascal Blampain, who is a very experienced and seasoned geologist who we work with very well. Frank Sybil, mining engineer, and certainly been around the traps a fair bit and has been with us now for about 11 years. And Andrew Chapman, fellow accountant and also a company secretary. I guess our claim to fame is we have 882,000 ounces of gold at a very good 2.4 grams per tonne. Current top 20 shareholders have about 55%, and I'll get you to have a look at the pie chart. BNP Paribas nominee entities on behalf of our German and Singaporean shareholders have 27%. Deutsche Balaton, institution out of Hamburg in Germany, have been fantastic supporters of us for several years now. They have 7%, and I myself own 4% of the company. Interestingly, I've paid for all my shares. I've never had any for free, so I've certainly got a little bit of skin in the game. Current share price, 5.3 cents, very, very low, presents exceptional value for a company that's got 882,000 ounces of gold. I don't really understand why we're at this price, but I can suggest to you that our share price started coming off when we ceased operations at Red October, and the market, I am told, believes we are come raise. And I'll come back to that because I think it's a very important item to discuss. I think the batteries might be getting a bit soft on this. Lake Kerry, 503 square kilometres. We are surrounded by world-class, high-quality gold mines. We're about 60 k's south of Laverton, as I said, 240 kilometres northeast of Kalgoorlie. We operate mainly in our Red October hub, our Linden hub, and our Fortitude hubs. We have got a very detailed exploration program planned for the next 12 to 18 months, and we believe that we'll be able to delineate 600 to 1.3 million ounces of new gold discoveries during that time, pending funding, of course. We are continuing with mining studies during the year. We completed 2 sets of studies, an upgrade at Fortitude Gold Mine, which I will touch bases on in a short time, and Devon, or the Devon pit in the Linden hub. Studies are continuing at Binder, Fortitude North, Hill East, and Gallant. Our mineral resource is here for everyone to see. Our underground resources are 6.2 grams per tonne. Our above ground resources probably average around about 2 grams. So as I said, they are very healthy grades. We've been pretty busy this year. Whilst we haven't done a lot of drilling in the last 12 months, we've certainly increased our gold resources. Some 12 months ago, in fact, September of last year, we had in the vicinity of 440,000 ounces. Today, as I've said, 882. So that is almost a doubling of our resource in that just over 12-month period. We are very confident that we'll continue on that type of growth ratio or growth trend. So I think that there's a fair bit to like about our company. We're certainly poised to exceed the 1 million ounce mark, which seems to be a magical figure where you really produce a lot of value. Very interestingly, and I want to talk about this slide, it's probably, to me, it's more important in geology at this point in time, mergers and acquisitions in the region. And what I'd like you to look at is the very last column, valuation. This valuation is the dollar value that the offeror company has paid for the resources that the offeree company had. As you'll see, not less than $100 per ounce. One company is up to $249 an ounce. So obviously there might be a bit of a reserve in there. Matsa's current EV sits at $22. Now, I find that fascinating, and I think you should too as an investor. That is the single key as to whether you've got a value proposition here. I did mention that I believe the market rates us as come raise, and that's why our share price is where it is. Well, there's more than one way for your company to get funded, and it doesn't necessarily need to be via share issues, and it doesn't necessarily need to be by debt. In fact, if you have a look at Matsa's history, we did very few capital raisings over the last 10 years. And we did that by project deals, by selling projects, getting projects, develop them to a certain stage and selling them off. I think Matsa is very confident that in the ensuing few months, we will be able to do the same. We will monetize our assets. We will not sell assets that are important to our strategy. And that strategy is becoming a gold producer of some note. So we'll retain the tenements that are important to us, and we will monetize the rest. In fact, we've completed one deal that should be executed and finalized tomorrow. It's only a very small deal, but that's our Red Dog, Tin Dog tenements. That should proceed hopefully by tomorrow or Monday. So our focus was, up until recently, Red October and Devon. Our focus will be our other exploration targets to exceed that 1 million ounces. And we will do that without necessarily falling back to capital raisings. Regionally, we've got 30 odd exploration targets in our 500 square kilometres. As I've already suggested to you, it's a world-class precinct. There's a lot of gold that has already been found, and there's a lot of gold to be found. I ask you to note, the white area is a lake, Lake Kerry. It's not a lake like everyone thinks where you've got water and all of that. It's a typical West Australian dry salt lake. In fact, in 4 years that we've been there, I've only ever seen it probably have 30 centimetres of water once. And that lasted a few weeks, not quite a month. So it's very easy to get rid of. It's very easy to control. Red October is entirely within the lake, and that mine's been there about 7 years. So we will go ahead and explore this. And we're going to explore areas that have been very poorly explored in the past, or in fact had no previous exploration. So I think you can see by all those dots that we've got numerous targets, and they're surrounded by a mineralized zone. We all know the story. Best place to look for gold is where there is gold. So just drilling into it that little bit more. Sorry, I'm just having a few problems with this pointer. So Fortitude and Binder Trend is probably where our focus will be for the next 12 months. Fortitude Trend is the one to the east, Binder Trend, the one to the west. And if you have a look at all the deposits in that area, specifically Matsa's deposits or gold mineralized zones, they follow these trends. And it's wherever there are cross structures, 45 degrees or other degrees that Pascal sees, that's where we'll concentrate our effort and we will drill. So you'll see there Fortitude North, the Fortitude deposit, and Stealth. The Fortitude mine itself, 489,000 ounces of gold. We did 3 small trial pits some 2 years ago. You'll see those in yellow. They produced 184,000 ounces, sorry, 184,000 tons of gold ore at an average grade of about 1.8 grams per ton for about 10,000 ounces. That went to Anglo Gold under an ore purchase agreement that we had with them. We've remodeled that, and through the knowledge that we gained from the mining and the grade control drilling, we've now got a new mine design, which is outlined in blue. It encompasses the 3 trial pits and actually goes out into the dry salt lake. This is fully approved. It's a fully approved mine plan. We can start mining here tomorrow without any impediment at all. All that we need is a mill, which there are some around, but we've got another plan for that. So this particular gold mine, feasibility currently shows $95.5 million positive cash flow within a 30-month period. That's at $2,400 Australian gold price. Gold price this morning when I first looked was about 2,500. So there's a little bit of extra profit or surplus cash flow surplus there. We are looking at studies to go underground after we've actually completed the open pit. And that's what it looks like there. So the actual open pit is delineated in blue. You can note that the higher grade is signified in red. There's a lot of higher grade material there that's not included in this current pit. So gold price goes higher, pit can go deeper, up goes the profitability of the mine, up goes the amount of gold that you can actually recover in ounces. This is a 2.6 kilometre long mineralised zone. The actual pit itself, as I said, it's about 1 kilometre long, 190 metres deep. So there's a lot of growth potential there. Fortitude North, to me, this is the most exciting project that the company has right now for growth potential. It's 6 kilometres north of our Fortitude gold mine. So whatever infrastructure we have at the Fortitude gold mine can certainly be shared with Fortitude North. Coincidentally, Matsa has a 72-person, very modern, worthwhile camp in close proximity that will probably shift to the Fortitude gold mine. At Fortitude North, we've got a 1.6 kilometre long anomalous zone. There is a supergene and fresh rock. We have drilled very sparsely, I think it's about 8 odd diamond holes that we've put in there. So we've drilled the first 2/3 or the northern 2/3 of this mineralised zone, and you can see some of the grades that we've got there. I won't read them all out, but 47 metres at 2.5 grams, it's pretty interesting to me. So we are fairly confident, back of the envelope calculations, that with the drilling we've currently got, while it's not yet JORC, but our exploration target there starts off at about 380,000 ounces of gold at 2.4 grams per tonne. If we drill this out to its fullest extent into the lake, 1.6 kilometres, we can actually forecast there's a potential of up to 600,000 ounces there. So this will be our focus very early in the new year. We will be drilling Fortitude North, and be very, very exciting to see what the results are. Binda. Binda is another pit. It's a few kilometres to the south of Fortitude Gold Mine. Again, very close proximity. All the infrastructure can be shared. It's a small pit that was historically mined by Western Mining Corporation in the 80s, and they were producing in the vicinity of 7 grams per tonne gold. We've delineated 40,000 ounces at Binda at 2.4 grams. We can see potential, strong potential for further resources along strike and at depth. And this will be a focus of a drilling program, probably towards the end of first quarter next year, early in the second quarter of next year. There is some stockpiles around Binda that we've noted, and we've taken some samples from that, and very pleased to see that from those stockpiles, 4.7 grams per tonne. So we'll be examining how they can be taken up to Anglo Gold and processed through an ore purchase agreement that we've got that still exists for Red October. Certainly, there's a lot more drilling to be done. Once we've drilled those 2 areas out, we'll go to the Binda trend. This was the one that was to the west. BE1, BE2, BE3, and BE4. They were targets that we've previously had a look at. BE1 was probably one of the first diamond holes that we've put in the area, and this was the core, visible gold, highly exciting. So we did a series of holes in the area, and sadly, where we predicted there to be further mineralized zone, we had 10 meters or 8 meters of core loss. Typically, where you've got mineralization, it's not uncommon to have core loss because of the nature of that zone. So we're certainly very keen to return back to BE1, drill it out properly, and see what's actually there. And you just never know. It's never been drilled previously by other explorers. Matsa's the first group there. Red October, it's my favorite. Red October, we've delineated certain areas that are of high interest to us. What we've recently been looking at is that lionfish. We've identified 228,000 tonnes of gold ore at 7 grams per tonne for about 54,000 ounces. The good thing about this area, it's in very close proximity to existing infrastructure. Upcoming exploration, I've kind of summed it all, but there's a chart here that you can have a look at. Our strategy is based on developing the funds and developing the resource to be a producer through our own mill. Sadly, I'm running out of time, so I can't really expand on that, but I invite you to have a look at our schedules. Thank you very much for that.